Hey everyone, it's Katie here. I'm the Director of Marketing at Ecamm, and I thought I would welcome you into Ecamm and take you on a non-techie tour of how this whole software works and how I approach getting started with Ecamm, building out all of the profiles and scenes that I need, and navigating all of the cool features that make it possible for me to do not one, but two video podcasts, as well as a number of video projects like this one, vertical videos, meetings, webinars, and everything in between. And I thought I would just show you as we get started what this setup looks like. I'm I'm in a really tiny studio space here at home. I have an L-shaped desk. You can see it's not very deep here. I have a microphone. This is the Shure MV7. I have a tiny little camera that is the OBSBot Meet 2. And I do all of my work on a MacBook M1 from 2021. You see, I don't have any extra displays or anything else that's cluttering up my space. I try to keep it really simple and really clean because this space is not very big and I have all of the busyness and all of the clutter behind me. But I thought I would jump in and show you what Ecamm looks like and how I approach getting started. So, welcome to live demo mode. As you can see, Ecamm has a ton of different windows all around that open up when you are first turning it on and every time that you open up the software afterwards. But the good news is that all of these windows are fully customizable. You can close them out. You can use them however it works best for you. So you can see I'm here in the main window in the middle, and that is the broadcast window, everything that goes out to either your recorded video or to your live stream. And then around me, we have all of these different windows. So I, for the purpose of this video, am in my my personal podcast profile. You can see up here, it's called the VHS Club podcast profile. And you can see I have a number of scenes that are saved. I approach building scenes like building the pages of a PowerPoint or a keynote presentation. So I'm starting off here. I knew that I was going to start off by saying hello to you and by being here in this main camera scene. And then I was going to show you behind me what that looks like so I could walk you through what my studio space looks like. But in real life, for my first scene for my show is actually a countdown timer, and it looks like this. And then I go into a scene like this where I have myself, my co-host, and potentially a couple of guests. And then we review the movie that we're doing. We give it a number of potatoes of Christian taters that we jokingly call it. And then we wrap in that last scene, right? And so this is how I flow through the content of my show. And you can see I don't have any extra special things with me here in the studio. I've intentionally kept things at home really simple and really streamlined. So when I am running the show, I just know that everything goes in the order of how I want the show to run. So I just need to come up here with my mouse and click next, next. Right? Next, I can click back and forth on these little windows to be able to switch back and forth and show different parts of my show to my audience. Overlays here in this second menu are anything that gets added or layered on top of this main video window, right? So that could be any kind of graphic. That can be a comment. So here Josh left a comment, right? Great episode as always. And I can brand these and I can make them look however I want to look them. I can move them all around and I can get rid of them, right? So I can just X out of Josh's comment. That includes, there we have a screenshot, right? Here's a screenshot of a map that I can tuck behind, and I can even drag myself up here as an overlay. And that here I'm hiding behind, so I need to come bring that overlay on top. So I'm going to come over here and bring it on top of this one, right? And then when I slide that back in, it's going to be behind me. So I can just adjust things and layer them to get the perfect scene that I want, right? So now my front camera scene up here looks like this, right? And then I have sound effects, and these are all things that you can either drag and drop or upload into Ecamm to be able to add a little bit of pizzazz to your video or to your stream. These ones that are simple and kind of fun actually come right with the software, but you can drag and drop any of them right here into this window, and you can create folders and rename them however you'd like. So I could come in here, double click it, and rename this to whatever is obvious to me. And then with this little gear, I can loop it, I can add a hotkey, and I can add it to the scene. I can also control the volume. All right, so if I decided I wanted to get rid of this, I would just pull it down and off. I would pull this down and off, and here I am back in the middle. And as I said earlier, if I decided that I didn't want any sound effects in my episode or while I was planning out my show, I could just close that window. I don't need to think about that right now. I also don't really need to think about comments and reactions right now because I'm not live streaming, so I can close that window up, right? And then I can move my camera effects window over. Maybe I want to move my zoom window and make that one larger, right? And so it's very, very easy to just focus on what you need in order to build out the content so that when you're ready to come in here and hit record or hit go live, you'll be able to do that easily. If you lose a window and you want to bring them all back, you can come up here to the window menu and you can click show all utility windows. And you can actually come up here and click arrange all windows and it'll put them in a neat order so that you have everything where you want it. So you might like it like this, or you might decide, well, I'm not interviewing anyone right now. I'm not doing anything with comments and reactions right now. And I don't need sound effects right now. So this is what I need. And, maybe I want my sound levels to be right here in the middle so that I'm looking at them and they're exactly where they should be. But this is what Ecamm looks like in a nutshell. And this is how I approach building out my scenes. I think about it like I think about a presentation. I put the scenes in the order that I want and I label them so that I can recognize them quickly and easily so that when I'm recording or I'm streaming, I just need to glance over and click, right? I know that this is the behind me shot and I can come back here. If you click to the right of them, you can actually lock those scenes so that nothing on the scene changes itself. But I actually have nothing anyway in the scene. I can move this window around without worrying about anything getting dragged off of it because there's nothing here on the scene right now. Whereas if I had a comment from Josh again, if I just dragged in here, I might drag the comment and not the window around. So that's why I would want to lock it to make sure that that comment, I guess I didn't lock the comment. Make sure the comment doesn't move, right? There we go. So that is what you would do for that. But I thought it would be helpful for you to see how I think about approaching building out Ecamm scenes. I can't switch between profiles right now, but you can see I have a bajillion of them. Every time I need to do a new project or a new show, or I'm planning a presentation that I'm doing in Zoom or in Microsoft Teams, I can just come in here and label that accordingly. And then I go ahead and start building out the scenes and the overlays that make up those episodes, right? So again, this would be my one over here, right? And I got to unlock this to remove it from the scene. Boop. But this is what this scene would look like. So when we're ready to record our show, I would just need to add in my guests here and we will be ready to record. And then I don't have to worry about a ton of editing or post-production work on the other side because all of my graphics, my guests' audio and video, everything, including even the comments or anything I demonstrate or show, all of that is going to be ready to go right here in this scene. So I wouldn't have to worry about adding anything else later in post-production. All right, I'm going to jump out of live demo mode. That is Ecamm in a nutshell, and that's how I approach thinking about this software. I hope that it helps. I know that it can feel really big sometimes, but keep it small, keep it approachable. Think about what you are trying to create and close some of those windows and focus really on building profiles, scenes, and adding overlays so that you get the end result that you need and you can quickly and easily flow through your scenes as you're recording or live streaming your content. If you need any help, you can always find us. You can email us directly, marketing@ecamm.com. You can join our community by going to ecamm.com/community. And you can always live stream or start a video project. We'd love to see what you're up to and what you're creating. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to hanging out with you again soon.